guys, welcome back to Everyday Struggle. Nadeska Academics and Wayno here.
Day 3 of me being sick. I'm getting over it a little bit, but goddamn it, man, hate being sick.
Yeah, emergency's not the cure.
I've been drinking tea soup, emergency.
Ginger? Are you a real Jamaican? You don't have any
they throw
ginger?
ginger and everything now, so I've been, kind of going through it. Like the nasty stuff is like coming up now, so it's all good.
Thank you for the details. Well, we appreciate you coming to work
Right.
and staying far away from us. Let's see, what are we starting?
Ain't no sick days at Complex. It's like, you could have got shot.
Yo, everyone
last
else
night.
has sick days, just not us.
Stop it.
I took one, though, in the history of this show, so I think
did
you
take
each
one.
have earned one.
I haven't taken a day off.
Actually, you haven't earned one yet, just academics. You got to put in a full 2 years.
Man. Yeah, bro, you got like a good year and a half before you earned one. Right now, you probably earn a couple eights.
A couple late.
A couple late? Yeah, I haven't been late.
All right, so we're starting the show with Eminem today. Two very different stories about M. All right, so in an interview with 99 Jams Live, Fat Joe revealed that Eminem actually tried to give him his demo multiple times back in the day. He said 6 times to be exact in Miami, but he never ended up listening. Take a look.
He gave me his demo like 6 different times. And everywhere I went was this little white boy, and he kept giving me his demo. He was like, yo, listen to my music. I'm telling you, I'm nice. And I never really, I didn't do it. Damn it! And now he's the biggest guy in the universe.
So our next story is going to be about Benzino and his beef with Eminem. Some people have very polarizing views about M. But anyway, just a cool little story.
Yo, it's always interesting when people tell these stories because it's like, even with that being said, I can't imagine Eminem being on Terror Squad. I mean, I can't imagine Eminem, they did one song together, right? Lean Back Remix. That was the only song that Fat Joe and Eminem did.
Was him on it?
Yeah, I was on the remix of Lean Back.
The Lean Back remix.
Yeah, Mace was on it and Eminem.
Remix.
Right.
Hilarious.
But I mean, like, I don't think Eminem is Eminem without Dr. Dre. So it's like, while that's cool, that is a very cool story. Like, what would Eminem be, or what would hip hop be if he never linked up with Dr. Dre? I don't think it would have went the same way it is going now.
You always take these. My takeaway from all these stories is like, what are we supposed to do with this? Like, it's like, yo, I almost hit the lottery, but I was 2 numbers off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, again, I don't think history could ever be rewritten where if you put different people in different places and everybody has the same success. I think if we just swap a bunch of different people on different squads or different labels, most of these niggas who are successful might just be failures. So, like, it's hard to just kind of foresee that Eminem would be Eminem now. Like, it's also hard to foresee that he wouldn't be, but still, like, you made a good point. Dr. Dre was very influential in his career, so to throw him with, like, Terror Squad and he got to rock out like that, probably still be having somewhat of a career, but is he Eminem? I don't know.
Yeah. I think Fat Joe just wants people to know, like, how much money he missed out on. Like, seriously, like, that's the biggest thing.
He said he also helped him help Pitbull to get a deal. That's a lot of money he missed, too.
Yeah, yo. Pitbull, a lot of people don't know, like, before Pitbull was, like, this pop star, he was rapping about street shit. Like, he had him and Flo Rida. Like, yeah, I went to Miami, like, the first time I went to Miami, I can't remember.
What was he doing, reggaeton?
Nah, he was rapping, like...
I don't remember Pitbull, like, just rapping.
Nah, Pitbull was rapping, like, him and Flo Rida, too. Like, they both had, like, more street-driven records. But, of course, they made the right change for themselves.
I'm stunned to hear that, honestly. Not about Pitbull, but about Flo Rida. I didn't know.
Why? Flo Rida, he from...
Flo Rida look like he on steroids. That nigga look like he running the streets.
No, but they really did have, like...
If anything, it looks awkward when he's, like, singing these little pop records.
No, it ain't, nigga. We gotten accustomed to that.
No, we got accustomed to it, but, like, you see the nigga? Bald-headed, super jacked. Like, come on, man. That sound like some nigga who's knocking niggas out in Florida. I'm just saying.
Not with the music he makes. But he was making that type of music early on, though. But I think, like, those stories is just to say, like, I got a bunch of stories like that. Like, you know what I mean?
People that you could have signed?
What could have happened, yeah. Like,
who's your biggest artist? You almost signed Drake?
Well, not even nah, hell no.
I'm just kidding.
I'd have been fucking...
Everybody got a Drake story. I'm so sorry.
No, I got a Drake
About
story right
signing
now.
Drake?
I do have a Drake story, but it's not directly Drake. It's my man Mike Zombie. Mike Zombie, when he did Started From the Bottom, he had texted me, and, like, you know how you see a person's text and you kind of, like, gloss over it and just keep it moving? And then, like, Drake tweets Zombie on the track, right? And I said, Mike Zombie hit me the other day. So I go on my phone, and Mike Zombie texts me. He says, yo, I got this situation with Drake, and I don't know nobody who can help me with it other than you. And I was like, I kicked myself for a whole day. Like,
ball on that
oh
one,
my God, I kicked myself for a whole day about that shit. And then I called him, and he just like, he still, needed help. But by the time Drake flew him out to Cali and all that shit, it was done.
You already signed the OVO slave contract.
Listen, it was already done, man. But yeah, I mean, I could have been a part of helping him, with that record on the business side. So I missed out on that. That's one of the biggest, like, that's a big payday. I mean, yeah, for real. Right. Zombie still my man, though. I can still get beats from him anytime I want.
He did produce that record by Young M.A, Big. So salute him for that.
Yeah.
And he from Jersey, just to let y'all know.
So I don't think it's anything new, rappers trying to get other artists to hear their music. But yeah, like back then, I'm sure, Fat Joe seeing a little white boy, as he called him, handing him his demo. It would have been hard to take him seriously at the time, but obviously we know how things turned out.
I gotta go back and listen to that demo. I think it leaked.
The M demo?
Yeah. Like, I forgot, like, niggas used to have, like, real demos and shit. Like, you were just kind of, like, running up on people or just trying to win whenever you got your shot. Yo, listen to this. Now, I think niggas just give you a SoundCloud link, like, yo, listen to the music I already have out.
Right.
It's
different now.
Yes.
Totally different.
So you guys made a good point about, obviously, Dre being instrumental in his career and sort of like, helping to usher him in. Don't know how that would have worked out with Fat Joe. But anyway, so during a recent appearance on Drink Champs, Benzino opened up about his past beef with Eminem, saying basically that M was not in the culture because he grew up where there weren't a lot of black people. So he felt like he needed to take a stand for the culture. Take a look.
Right, but when you look at the Eminem situation, hip hop is more than just rap. It's a culture.
Right.
It's our fucking life. It just isn't rap.
Right.
This isn't rap. You know what I'm saying? It's our life. So to him, I'm sure it's rap. You know what I'm saying? But unless you grew up in the culture, you could never know.
So you don't feel Eminem is of the culture himself?
He raps of the culture of no. Eminem's not in the culture that I'm from. That's not a bad thing. I'm not mad.
Does he make any good points here, or is he just hating?
All right. Nah, seriously, because like, I'm really like, yo, this shit threw me all the way off. Like, first off, I don't know why Benzino would be speaking about anything with M other than just like the little spat that they had, right? Then to say Eminem grew up a place where he's from Detroit. Like, D12 is all black people. There's not one white person in D12.
You
like,
watch 8 Mile.
I mean, even 8 Mile. Like, I don't know. Like, I think that because Eminem is white and he's one of the most successful hip hop artists, there's always gonna be like this undertone of like, that should have been. You know what I mean? Like, people always gonna feel like that. And you got to remember, Benzino was a rapper too. So like, he always is gonna have a certain type of perspective. But I would never say that Eminem is not of the culture. He's one of the most influential people to ever be in this culture, black or white. So I like, that shit came from left field, but it seemed like he didn't know what he was talking about neither. Like,
Benzino's an old hater. And you can see it's just bleeding through his pores right there. Like, that's kind of sad because when I see people age and, like, listen, hip hop is so expanded where it don't really matter if you're 40, 50, 60, or 70. You could really still have a place in hip hop, but I don't really think there's a place for like that old just hater who just doesn't connect at all. And he's just hating on M. He's not even like, if he was hating on some new niggas, I get it. Okay, different, I get it. But M, come on, bro. Also, like, in him saying that M is not of the culture, like, I hope people don't think, I don't know how people like correlate being of the culture and having a right to like rap. I feel like that's not a thing anymore.
what?
I don't feel like you have to be quote unquote. I feel like niggas is rap.
But he's also talking about it in a time-trapped context.
Yeah, a
right.
different time, a totally different time.
You're right. But then, all right, so let me use his definition or his time trap context to kind of analyze it, right? Like, I would see him having a point if Eminem in his music was jacking like a lot of cultural shit or pretend to be somebody he wasn't. Then you could make the distinction like, yo, this is a white boy who hasn't gone through some of the things that we've gone through and he's rapping about it, this and third. Like, the reason why I'm saying he's hating, it feels like, he's one of those people who feel like rap belongs to black people and it's one of the ways of expression and I mean, in its early origin, that's really how it came about. But he's mad at anybody who's non-black who gets success.
Even if they had to struggle, which is sort of at the core of our music too.
Well,
we take it beyond race.
I do. I mean, Rap is a big thing, but I do feel like it's something that definitely belongs to black people. I do. Now, that doesn't exclude anybody else from doing it, but I do.
But that's what he's doing, though.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what he's doing. I don't feel like it excludes white people or brown people or anybody, but hip hop is a black thing. Black people make everything fucking dope, and I'm not saying that to shade anybody else. Like, we make athletic sneakers lifestyle. Nike made a whole lifestyle page, and they're gonna say that their product is to make you a better athlete. No, it isn't. It's for you to get fly. Why? Because black people took fucking Jordans where you're supposed to play on the court with them and made them into a dope thing. And I think that our hip-hop, our influence affects the entire world. Do we get credit for it? Do we get paid for it? No.
So if you're a white rapper, it seems like the thing is there's a certain level of awareness, right? So like younger white rappers like a Marlon Craft is very well aware that he's white. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He's wasn't like born in this culture. So you have to be sort of respectful in a certain way that certain people like Iggy haven't been. But there's always talked about sort of being a student of the game, right? Like following the greats and giving other people opportunities. So I guess in Benzino's mind, he excludes all of that.
Yeah, that's kind of like Marlon. Marlon is a person of the culture. And I feel that because he does his homework, and he comes from a musical background, and hip-hop is something that he loves. He's a kid from New York, like he displays that. Same shit with Eminem. Eminem always talked about how Big L was such a big influence to him. Like and even if he didn't say that, like whatever.
What does of the culture mean? Because, you know, using his very skewed and to me very incorrect definition, when he throws in, you know, I think he'll kind of scatterbrain and trying to like define and just make his point known. That's what I'm just saying is hate. Like he basically said, he's not of the culture. He's not even from where black people are from.
Yeah, that's buck. That's buck.
So you're telling me that if someone comes from, I don't know, Montana, and they could rap really well, they're a student of the game, like they appreciate and they respect what they're doing, and they happen to be white, and they respect other people in the culture, like they're not of the culture.
No, absolutely, you're absolutely right. Like I think that's how you define it. Like when you see a person who has no knowledge or no history of like doing it, like the same way we talked about. Almost like the artists who are strippers that people just say, oh, you should just start rapping like tomorrow, right? Like, I think that if you're a white artist and then somebody's just like, yo, you should rap and we should just make a gimmick out of you and throw whatever on you and then get money, I think, yeah, that's being a culture vulture and all that. But if you grew up listening to hip hop and even if your parents ain't playing it, if you took it upon yourself to do the history and learn and be a part of it, then of course. But there's no rule book to it. But I think that's enough. Like if you interview somebody and you're asking them questions about how they come up with hip hop, and they're telling you, yo, I listened to fucking Method Man growing up. I listened to the Wu-Tang Clan. I listened to the Lox, and they're also a dope spitter. I think that more than qualifies you to be part of the culture. Even if you don't rap that way.
Right.
One of the problems I have with what Benzino said is that, like, again, you're right, he used to be a rapper, right? And he used to like run the source or whatever that shit is.
Yeah, he owned it, I believe, at one time.
Like, I look at, he's one of them dudes who explains away all of his shortcomings by comparing it to like another rapper, and he almost flips what that person he feels as an advantage, and he uses that to basically try to like invalidate what they got going on. Like yo, why y'all rocking with this? Like he don't really say why y'all rocking with me, but he's like, why y'all rocking with this guy? Like he's not of the culture, he's this, he's that. Really, like your main source of your issue is that you're not as successful. Because if you were as successful, or even remotely, you wouldn't even be having that conversation. You understand, like, yo, yeah, that type of rap ain't for me. Like my rap might appeal to different people, but success. With success, you realize you stop complaining about a lot of shit.
Yeah. Vanilla Ice ain't of the culture.
Right.
Not Eminem. Exactly. Like, come on. Like, you're not going to put Eminem. Like, MC Search is of the culture. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not going to say that Eminem is not the culture. And he didn't grow up around black people. Like, he grew up poor. Like, not saying that that's what you have to go through, but, like, he's not from, like, some privileged place in Detroit. He's from the fucking gutter. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that culture where it's expanded so much is, like what do we consider the culture even then and now?
Like, that's why it's surprising also that he didn't say this is how I felt at the time and this is why we were beefing.
If he had said
10,
that,
15 years later, I can understand, you know, whatever. It was just tensions, etc. But to stand by this is
right now, 2019. Like if he would have said that,
right.
Yeah, if he'd have been like, yo, that's how I felt then, that's totally different.
I feel like even when he said culture, then like all I heard in that antiquated meaning was the streets. Like I think that's what I was hearing. Like He's like, yo, that nigga not from the streets. Y'all let this little weird nigga like just come in here and he's not black and y'all let him pop off and this, that, and third, and then we going through shit, you know what I mean? And we're not getting that same success. That's all I heard, which is old hater.
Yeah. I mean, even when the streets part, like, if Eminem was whack, he wouldn't even be talking about it. Like, for real, like, he wouldn't be talking about it.
Yo, Eminem just need to square up.
Nah, come on, square up. Fuck out of here, man.
They were going back and forth for a little bit.
You can't throw a spitball
Why would
at
Eminem
Eminem.
waste his time right now? Yeah. Instead of spitball.
Yo, he would definitely square up with Eminem.
Of course he would. Come on.
I remember seeing him on Love and Hip Hop, man. They were calling him the No Neck Bandit, man. Listen, he would definitely. Who you got winning?
I'm not even going to touch on no fucking these niggas.
I'm just saying, they've been, yo.
Yeah, embodied him then.
No. Honestly, I be looking at dudes, like, all right, maybe 50 and Ja Rule a little exception, because there's a violent history there. But I be looking at niggas who really been for 20 years, like, still get a little slick jazz. I'm like, yo, y'all serious? Like, that's why I can't wait till we get to this Nas and Cam topic, because I'm like, Jesus Christ, y'all beefing for 20 fucking years?
Nah.
But Cam doesn't sound as bothered as Benzino.
He's not beefing.
Cam,
Like, yo,
Cam
after a
doesn't
while,
care.
I'm like, yo,
Yeah, it's like, we're
it's
told
over.
for this shit now. All right, man. I feel like we need a segment on a show called like T-Pain's Truths or something, right? Every few weeks we have him just sort of like opening up. So in an Instagram post yesterday, T-Pain revealed that he was going to cancel his upcoming tour because of poor management and also low ticket sales. So he basically said his team cut some corners, production went missing, so he wanted to pull the plug and didn't want to lie about it. Take a look.
Some things got cut, some corners got cut, production went missing. I'm going to take it upon myself to cancel the One Up DLC tour because it just would have been a bad look for me and it wouldn't have been entertaining for y'all. So now let me tell you, I was advised to lie about this and say that I needed some time or I needed some alone time or me time, and don't make it look like we fucked up. We fucked up. And most artists lie. Whenever concerts get canceled or tours get canceled, it's for low ticket sales.
So we had a couple fan questions about this. One asking, despite what Payne said, if we thought he should have lied. What is it? Because it's going to hurt his legacy. We do hear artists a lot of the times canceling, postponing tours, and there's always a reason that sounds like a lie. What are your thoughts?
Hurt his legacy? Like, no, it's don't.
Be nice to our fans, to our viewers, okay?
I know, but
thank you for the question.
Thank you for the question, first and foremost, right? But hurt his legacy? Fuck no, it doesn't hurt his legacy. I think that T-Pain need to have a podcast or something. Like, for real, I think that he needs to have a podcast. Like Axe said, like, as you grow older, there's a lot of spaces in hip hop that you could still be relevant in. And I think that T-Pain has a great amount of stories. He also has a great amount of knowledge when it comes to just music and creating music. Yeah. But I'm happy that he said this shit. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times they disguise and mask the shit and, oh no, you know, family emergencies came about. Ain't no family emergency. Them tickets ain't moving.
Wanted to regroup, record some more music,
I mean, the thing is like T-Pain he's not the T-Pain he once was years ago. Not saying that he can't tour, because I'm pretty sure he can tour. But, you know, I think that the preparation didn't go into putting this tour together. That's why the ticket sales are so low. And I don't think this tarnishes his legacy or makes him look any bad. He's telling his truth. So salute to T-Pain for that.
T-Pain would never throw a Fire Festival.
I love T-Pain. And I think it was important that he told the truth. But that doesn't mean every artist should tell the truth. Because I think T-Pain's at a point in his career where like his legacy is already just established. Like he's not one of them niggas who's still trying to give off the facade or convince people he's hot. And those artists who literally need to regroup because your tickets ain't selling, your tour's flopping, you have to lie. I can name 5 artists right now who canceled their tour. Again, they didn't officially cite that it's low tickets, but if they did say it, you would look at them a little bit way. Lil Pump, right before his album came out, he had a tour about to happen, he canceled it. Now, if he said, bro, my tickets ain't selling, damn, you're not hot. Like, you can't sell tickets, you're not hot.
After that big ass deal, too.
Exactly.
That makes him look away.
Nicki canceled her world tour. Apparently was some shit with like the person who was gonna be on it. May have been. Who knows? If it was anything to do with ticket sales, you can't even fathom that. It's Nicki Minaj. Right?
Yeah, they also said something about like shipping, like the equipment didn't get there on time, weather, it was like a lot of things.
Whatever. Tinashe canceled it, said she was gonna go focus on her album. Now that one we saw right there. I love Tinashe and I ain't here to clown, okay? But we saw right through that. But at a time when she was still on, I believe, RCA, and she was trying to like figure out, like, she's trying to catch some steam. It's super embarrassing that you're already complaining that your label basically gave up on you. They're giving better songs to other people who they feel have more of a momentum at that time, and now you're canceling your tour because you can't sell tickets, right? Happened also to Iggy during her last little time she tried to go on tour, and she said she was going to focus on her album, which I think people were realizing after the huge backlash of what was happening just on Twitter and just the culture kind of reacting to her. Yeah, so those artists, and again, I don't have any official confirmation that it was tickets sales being low, but just hearing what T-Pain said and him giving some knowledge, if that was the case for them, do we want them to tell the truth?
So then you're saying only veteran artists are in a space, and we're not.
No, it depends on who too. Like, it depends on who.
Right.
If 50 about to go on tour and 50 tour got to get canceled because of low ticket sales, you bragged about numbers all your career.
So we
don't
can't
want to hear that.
But
Just
see,
case
that's
by
the
case basis, yeah.
That's the smart thing about 50. 50 don't tour in the U.S. No, seriously, he don't tour in the U.S. When the last time you seen a U.S. 50 tour? He don't tour in the U.S. He only tours overseas, because that's the only, I mean, those are the people that come out. I think if 50 tried to do a tour in the U.S., it wouldn't perform as well. But, like, he only tours
He
overseas.
was on like a mini tour, like, but it was with like Chris Brown. And Chris Brown tickets always goes.
Yeah, it always goes. But I'm saying, like, him doing his own tour, like, they still go overseas and be having stadiums.
And also, like, you could kind of see it with 50 because 50 has, when he first came out, he used to say, why the fuck am I gonna be in a club when I'm selling out arenas? You see 50 in the clubs now. 50's actually in the club. So, you know, I think he's done a good job of not making it like one of those situations where like, oh, the G-Unit tour is canceled. But, you know, like, it's all about maintaining that facade. You get me? And not because tickets don't sell for a particular tour at the particular time, doesn't mean an artist is washed or whatever. Could be a other bunch of factors. Could be like 5 other tours. I remember when Travis had his tour going on, somebody else had their tour going on, I think 21 had his tour as well. Like, you gotta, like, consumers gotta pick. And if you just some random person that's like, okay, I'm gonna have a tour at that time, yeah, ticket sales might not be good.
Yeah.
And also if you're just like, oh, I'm gonna announce the tour right before the album, I'm gonna have 3 weeks to sell it, yeah, you might not be that hot, bro. That would sell 20,000. So, you know, it's a lot of things go into it, but glad he told the truth. The rest of y'all keep lying.
T-Pain, if you don't do a podcast, just come do the segment here. T-Pain's Truths.
That'd be lit.
Could definitely do one a month. All right, so before we get to Cam, big facts or BS. So today's is courtesy of Andrew Barber from Fake Shore Drive. He says, by 2029, all songs will be 30 seconds long. The snippet world is upon us, mark my words. Now, of course, songs have definitely been getting shorter and shorter, like a minute and a half, 2 minutes now. So 2029, 30 seconds, big facts or BS?
BS, because that shit is happening right now. Like, seriously, it's happening right now.
Are we at 30 though? I feel like it's
Like
usually
30?
like a minute, a little over a minute.
I think, did
We're
Tierra,
below 2.
Below 2.
below 2, didn't Tierra Whack put out an album and it was just like, some of the songs were like 30 seconds? Like, yeah. Like, a lot of the songs was 30 seconds and shit. So it's like, nah, that's not no 2029 shit. That's happening right now, so.
But majority of songs, that was more of like an artistic choice, I feel like, on her behalf.
Yeah, I don't.
Like when I'm listening to like a Wale album, I'm stunned that the songs keep going. I'm used to now the minute and a half.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that'll ever be a thing. I don't think there'll ever be a 30-second record that's a hit record. Like, I don't think that'll happen. I mean,
45 to a minute though.
45 to a minute? Well, I mean, yeah, we've heard records that was a minute, that was, you know, that went.
Beat comes in, hot hook, 8-bar verse.
Yeah. I mean, like,
The hook back again.
when you go to, like, when you out or at a festival, whenever, when you hear Don't Like, the only part they play is the Pusha T part.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's only like 30 seconds. But I mean, I don't think that you don't make that record to get the best 30 seconds of it. I think people still continue to make records, you know?
Well, you know what I mean? There's a lot of different factors that really contribute to that. I don't know if it'll be at 30 seconds, but I do believe the average song length, especially for newer rappers who are just trying to make hits, okay, unless it's some really outside the box artistic way, like how Nadeska was saying, it's gonna be about like a minute and 30, and to be honest, like, they have all the right to. Attention spans are kind of shrinking. Anybody try to listen to you for 3 minutes. After the third hook is like, come on, nigga, next song. And we got an aux cord, we not listening to the radio. Secondly, radio contributes to that. Even if your song's in rotation, if you got 3 verses on a record, a 3-minute song, they're not playing.
Yeah, 3-verse songs is like, 3-verse songs
They're not even getting to the second though.
No, I mean, if it's programmed, it definitely is. Mix show is different. Mix show is like usually the first verse and hook.
Listen, sometimes depending on how long that buildup is, they'll kind of just kind of rotate out of it.
Yeah.
But in that type of thinking, like once you already got like the hot foundation and the hook in the first verse, why you keep going? And also everybody's like bragging about making like 20 songs in a day. You think they're making 3 verses?
No.
Hook, barely a verse, ad-libs, next song.
Ooh, Roger just sent a nice little fun fact. He said, Old Town Road is the shortest Hot 100 #1 song since 1965.
How long was Old Town Road?
How long was it?
Less than 2 minutes? I don't know exact number count. Now I'm curious what the other song was from 1965.
Speaking of which,
But go ahead.
I'm giving credit to 2 artists with that. Because when we first saw it, we were like, what the fuck is up with this? And I think it's just kind of becoming the trend now. Lil Pump and X, like they had like really short songs. And they had an album with 21 minutes. And that sounded ridiculous if you thought an album would do well with 21 minutes worth of content. And then you get to realize people are okay with a minute and a half songs.
I mean, but you have to have trained fan bases for that. I don't think everybody's accepting to that. Like it's like nobody's accepting that from J. Cole.
Of course.
Like nobody's accepting that from Kendrick. You know what I mean? Nobody's accepting that from Drake. You have to have trained fan bases, and I think like if you get in and out.
Lil Tecca fans just want 60 seconds, bro.
Yeah, Lil Tecca fans, but Lil Tecca's only a strong 10 months into having a really good year. Like I don't know if he's gonna be here for 5 to 10 years. I think like if you one of those artists that lasts, because no matter what, every great artist that we like give us great music. It's never like you could get in and get out and get the fast shit, big deal, all of that. But how many of them motherfuckers last? How many of them people we put on them top 50 lists going into the future?
I agree.
You know, so we'll see.
Plus, when I'm listening to my man Orbs, I love him.
My man Orbs.
What's wrong with this nigga, man? When I'm listening to Orbs, like I like when the song's long. Pause. Like I like when it flows into the next song. Like almost it's like a song / interlude. Like even think about, like I'm even shocked, well, not that shocked because of the names like Chris Brown and Drake, No Guidance. Like you listen up to like 3 minutes and it changes a whole fucking different song. Like the beat changes, like it started getting on some Megatron shit. Drake comes in, starts just singing like a motherfucker. So like, for those artists, I feel like it works, but like you're right, those are the artists we really want to hear. These other motherfuckers, you got 60 seconds, get your shit off, or we skipping next.
And I mean, we're not gonna remember a lot of them, so.
Well,
we need to make a top 50 forgettable list. Cause a lot of these niggas, and not even worse.
You want to have 20 lists.
Exactly. Not even worse, just forgettable. Like, where are they now list. That's what we need to have. Top 50 where are they now
songs with
Where's my man Mims at?
What?
He's from New York, right?
Mims got artists now, I believe. He's signing artists. Sorry,
That's good.
because Mims has been signing artists. I can't remember exactly who he has, but I know he has somebody that's popping. Yeah, and he writes like Mims. I think he writes shit for Disney or some shit. Like,
A word?
Yeah.
Good. He's still getting to the bag. Where's my man Jaquan?
I don't know.
All right, now we're just going down memory lane. I don't know.
We can definitely make this list. Let's definitely make it.
I know Chameleon, he's stuck in Silicon Valley, yo. He's getting that bread.
Stuck? That's not the word I would use, if you're getting
No,
I love
that's what I'm saying.
there.
Yeah,
Shit.
I would never come back.
Yeah, he don't give 2 fucks about rap.
I don't blame him at all. Oh, so Andrew Barber also tweeted after he shared that. He says, "Been 20 years, but I still feel the pain of waiting 7 hours for something to download, only to be ruined by someone in your house picking up the phone to make a call."
Ooh.
A lot of you guys will never know what it was like to live through that era.
Oh, your mother saying, "Get off the phone." Hey, bro, Mom, get off the internet. I gotta make a phone
Deciding
call.
if it's worth putting the shit to download again overnight.
Right.
But I love y'all niggas had, man. They had the AOL joint?
You never had that, like the earliest version?
I had
like, you made a
AOL,
call, it was
7
bad.
hours?
Net Zero.
It depends. If you did like one song, it was fine, but usually you leave like 10, 15 songs overnight.
Was you living that LimeWire life, Act?
Nigga, I was on Kazaa.
All right, I was on LimeWire.
Had all of those.
What's the other shit before LimeWire?
There's like Napster.
Napster, nigga.
Nah, Napster was heavy.
I was on it.
Napster was heavy. Napster,
Nigga,
LimeWire.
I would download an album in 3 viruses. Can't package.
Absolutely.
You be like, yo, you listen to the songs, you get mad pop.
yeah. Fuck up your whole desktop.
All right, so this is a story I was excited to talk about. Here's Cam'ron on the Rap Radar podcast. He dropped like a little teaser where he's talking about his beef with Nas and saying despite so much time has passed, he still doesn't know why Nas originally dissed him. Check it out.
I'm a real big Nas fan. Like, what happened was Nas just dissed me for no reason, you know. And it was really tough decision to make. But dag, man, what did he diss us for? We didn't even do nothing to this. He's more mad at Hot 97.
Yeah. Do you feel like you crossed the line? Because beef now is different.
Yeah, I mean, at that particular time, I probably didn't. It's some things that I found about afterwards that I probably wouldn't have said if I knew. You know what I'm saying? Do I regret it? Yeah, because I didn't want to go that far. But at that particular time in my mindset and the niggas I was running around with, they didn't give a fuck.
Cam.
Evolution.
Right.
We talk about Gucci Mane so much. This is a different kid. This is the person that pointed at Bill O'Reilly and said, you mad. It's a different Cam'ron right now. I'm impressed.
Hey, wait, I'm wondering, what stuff does he regret saying?
Take your, can I say it?
Yeah.
Take your daughter, R. Kelly had my way with her face.
Oh, okay.
That was a hard bar. That was a really disrespectful bar.
Even more disrespectful now, I guess.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Truth be told, though, he's right. Like, I remember, I don't know if I heard it live, but it's like, it's one of those legendary clips online when Nas is at, was it Power 05? And like, he just goes off because Hot 97 wouldn't let him like
hang a dummy of
whatever and stuff with him. And he just he was bringing up mad people.
Yeah, he's Nelly.
Yeah, he was like, yo, Angie making terrible records.
Yeah.
You got this nigga.
he said, Kara West what? No, he said, Nelly, if you ever say something about Kara West what again, I'ma step in.
Yeah.
But I got a few factors to why I think, because I actually was in the studio that night when Cam made those diss records to Nas.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was.
Oh shit.
So he did show you how. Yeah, he did show you how to do it, son. Over where he dissed Nas, he did Hate Me Now over, and people don't know that I Really Mean It is also like a Nas diss song. He put all three of those out at one night. Like he did all that shit in one night, right? Wow. You got to remember.
Really Mean It?
Yeah, I Really Mean It is a diss song to Nas. You know what I mean? Like it's like Jim Jones says, Nasir, when I catch you.
Yeah.
Remember the whole Koofy smacking shit came around that time?
That shit was too funny, yo.
Exactly. But you got to remember, right? So he's beefing with whom? Jay-Z. At this time, who was Cam'ron signed to? Rockefeller Records, right? So I don't think it was like a reason. It's just like, nigga, you over there with them niggas, fuck you too. Like, he didn't have a reason to really say anything about Cam. He was like, oh boy, he's like, that shit is whack. Like, he just was dissing everybody. And I think that Cam just got hit in the crossfire. The thing with Cam is like, Cam loves that shit.
He's the pettiest nigga of all time.
He loves it. Like, he thrives off of that type of shit. So, I mean, I think, because even Jewel started dissing Nas. They was dissing him on the Diplomat tapes around that time. But I think it made for good momentum in the streets for diplomats and shit, because they had diss records. I mean, now this is a fucking 60-second videos that gotta go to Akademiks. Today, I mean, that's today. Back then it was records, and the only way to get that content is by buying the mixtape in the street. So they benefited heavy off that beef. But I can see why Cam kind of regrets it, because he never got a chance to work with Nas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's good to see, like, and that's what I was saying about, like, the Benzino and M thing, and I get it, like, you know, a lot transpired there, too, but shit, like, when I see a nigga still holding on to those old feuds, I'm like, damn, man, y'all niggas is getting old, man, like, just, you don't gotta either harp on it or just kind of, like, every time you have to throw a slick shot. It's dope, I haven't seen a full episode, it's dope to see, like, Cam just speak.
Yeah.
Growth. Him and Gucci growing up, man.
Yeah, man. Nah, Cam is different, man, for real. I think Cam is another one that need to create his own platform, because he's a jokester one, and he has a ton of...
He's so petty, though.
What? It would be amazing.
It makes for the best content.
I seen him drop a little freestyle in the car, dissing his ex. Like,
yeah.
Remember, yeah, he know what he doing.
You know what Cam never did, too? Remember, he was trying to do a To Catch a Predator type show as well. Like, he was trying to beat the niggas up.
Yo, yeah. I don't care what nobody says. Killer Season is still a top 5 hip-hop movie, man. I don't care what nobody says. Bad acting, bad cinematography.
Yo,
like, you
but
can
we
see the
need
cameraman
those
in
more.
there.
We don't get those anymore.
But would they do as well? Or is it
I think
I ain't gonna lie, yo, that's a
movie.
Like, that shit just lived.
Look, you got Killer Season, you got the State Property movie. Yo, you telling me right now if fucking YSL did a movie where they running through Atlanta shooting them shit, that shit would go right now?
Yeah,
or QC and them, like, did a movie right now?
I feel like it's because it's different times where, like, you had more of time between albums and shit. Even though you put out mixtapes, they had And also, Dipset's mentality was very different.
Yeah.
You know, like after a while, they were jacking like, yo, we're doing everything ourselves too, like the independent way. So making those like movies and film, and once, you know, Dame kind of brought them in, paid in full in the center, that was their mindset. Like, I don't know if like Atlanta mindset right now, like not just like YSL or whatever, all these Atlanta rappers, they're just putting shit out. It's like, why are we gonna make a movie while we could just make 20 albums in the time we would make one movie?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because motherfucking Tyler Perry is the first black man to have his own fucking movie, what is it?
Film studio.
A film studio, his own film studio in Atlanta, and it's like he's really trying to create Black Hollywood. So if you're in Atlanta, you should get next to him. Now, I'm not a big fan of like a lot of his like certain movies, like the Medea stuff. I'm not a fan of that, but like he could definitely guide and curate where you need to go. He's highly successful. It's right down there. He's creating it. Why not? It's in your backyard. Don't let nobody else do it. You know what I mean?
I've been pleasantly surprised with seeing some rappers trying to hop back into acting. I felt like there was a time where it was a natural, like, just synergy, but then after a while, like, niggas stopped either trying to do films or even getting in films. Or maybe this weren't getting casted, other than, like, Ludacris and Tyrese. Like, them niggas was in. You know what I mean? But you see Cardi B just supposedly got casted for Fast and Furious. She was just in that Hustler movie as well, so.
Yeah, she's gonna be doing, I feel like she's gonna be one that's doing a lot of more movies. But I mean,
I want her to do her own movie.
What, like a biopic?
I want a QC movie. Like we gotta get these moments. We want a QC movie.
Yeah.
We want like any crew, like shit. I want a movie like even documenting kind of like maybe not
I think
at this
it's
moment.
still, I think a lot of it is just a little bit still early. You know what I mean? Like the funny thing that I seen where nobody seen it coming was remember when Rockefeller did Death of a Dynasty? And it was about them breaking up. And it was like a comedy about them breaking up, and then they actually broke up. So they kind of spoke it into fruition a bit. But I think like in real time, it's kind of hard to do. Like you said, like they putting out so much shit at the time. They don't really have too much time to do it. But I think that they should get more in the film. I would love to see, I'm pretty sure between P and Gucci Mane, coming up from the streets, I know they got some crazy ass stories that they could make into like a fictional movie that could come from their perspectives.
And Yachty already stepped into it, right? He had the thing with Viacom, Yachty. I don't know if he was producing or if he was just acting in something. So
he did the How High too. I didn't see that.
And definitely not a little humble brag. I was telling Orbs, like in terms of like his next projects and shit like that.
Man's
like, yo,
the movie.
The man's. I said the only thing. I said you've done everything. The only thing you haven't done is like what we've seen 50 do, what we've seen M do, kind of like even
biopic,
T.I.
right?
Well, not only that, but like, yo, just package a movie, right? Like a motion picture that's gonna be in theaters with the album. Like, I think that brings you to a new stratosphere. Like,
what did he say? There's no way he hasn't had that thought before, right? Because I feel like we had this conversation here. It seems like the next logical step for him. I think he's just trying to find the right time.
Like I think he's thought of it. Like, I forgot what exactly he said, but he was like, yo, like, that's like already done. Like, you know, like that's people expect that to happen.
Yeah.
So
if it happens, it has to happen at a right point in time. Yeah. Like,
so, I don't know.
I hit him with this. Yo, I got this great idea. He's like, nah, my nigga.
I just be trying to.
Nah, fuck with you.
Just trying to get some info, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Just trying to get a cameo.
He's trying to get info,
getting
y'all.
Cameo. Stop playing. I'm not getting a cameo in there.
What you gonna play as?
First of all,
What you gonna play at?
Wait, I'm not gonna lie though.
Right.
All these hip hop movies, whenever they start getting made, I better get a fucking cameo or at least approval rights on whoever plays me. I gotta be in there somewhere.
Oh,
the drama starter.
Oh, that's gonna be amazing.
The blog nigga, like.
We all know a movie you are gonna be in.
I don't know what I'm gonna be in a Harlem movie. That's what I'm gonna be in.
No, you're not. You're gonna be getting chased. The whole movie. It's gonna be a movie of you for 10 minutes getting chased.
Starring.
I don't know what
You would get taken, bro.
Taken for academics. Niggas that have you at Drew Hamilton projects under pressure.
It's the hood movie we need. Academics.
I'm gonna be in the Goons with the movie.
Yeah, right.
I'm with the Goons.
You with the Goons.
Liam Neeson has to come save your ass. All right, let's end with the most.
Oh, you ever seen that movie? You know Braxton, right? We know that nigga from
Original Gangsters, nigga. Where he played.
And then he played a tough guy. We look at him like, yo, nigga, you Braxton from Jamie Foxx show, bro.
Yeah, Original Gangsters.
I'm gonna play a gangster, nigga. Watch.
That would be disgusting. You playing a gangster?
A gangster, bro.
You would win an Academy Award if you pulled
If you
that
could pull
one
it off.
because it couldn't be further from the truth.
No, you can't.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, I'm on some mob bullshit, nigga. I'm from Jamaica.
Okay.
What that mean? Like,
Wait, that niggas ever watch Shotters?
Yeah, what
That's one of the
that
greatest
mean
movies
though?
of all time,
So
but
everybody from
has
Jamaica's
nothing
a
to
shotter?
do
Get the
with
fuck
you.
out of here,
If you
nigga.
know, you know.
If you
Yo,
know, you
Shots
know.
is
You know, you
officially
know.
included on the classic hood movies list.
Absolutely.
I was debating this with someone the other day.
Shots is at Belly. Shots is.
While I'm at it, I think we're just like all over the place right now. But rest in peace to Louis Rankin. He passed away.
Yeah, rest in
car
peace, Louis
crash
Rankin.
in Canada.
Ox.
R.I.P.
What did he say? He said, "Don't ever talk about fear to me. No scared business to me."
Well, listen, man. Just know us Jamaicans, we got away with playing gangsters and mobsters.
Playing, right?
All right, okay. We're going to end with the most important story of the week before we run out of time on this one. So, a few days ago, police in Tennessee arrested a white man named Tupac A. Shakur after they say he pulled a knife on them and was found with meth. So he was charged with aggravated assault, simple meth possession, some other things, unlawful things, and he's currently being held on bond.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? That dude has got to be like 20-something years old. Like, for real. He can't be.
What?
He's got to be like 20-something.
No, he not.
How is he?
I don't know. That nigga got a ball spot. The fuck?
Nigga, he got to be. He's on meth. Meth makes people look fucking 10. It ages you like 15 years. He has to be like 20-something years old. Because who the fuck names their kid
Right.
Tupac in
Nah,
19...
He 40. 40. You got him.
He's 40 years old. He had to
Told
change
you,
his
man.
name to Tupac.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, he changed his
Tupac
name to
died like
Tupac.
25 years ago. This
Yeah, he changed his name. That's what I said.
Wow.
Probably tatted Thug Life across the belly. You know what I mean? And he probably out in traffic.
He out in traffic?
He out in traffic. You feel me?
No, that's crazy, man.
Probably
White
spit
man.
the camera on the way wild.
Wait, did y'all ever see the commercial, the ESPN commercial with the white dude who's named Michael Jordan? And like all day he's going places and people is hyped because they see Michael Jordan on the paper and then they like, all right. Like, you never see that shit?
That's nigga, I don't watch TV, but that would be a letdown.
That shit is hilarious.
That'd
It's
be
a funny commercial.
Super letdown.
But a white man named Tupac Shakur.
You're right.
I mean, he got the charges, right? Aggravated assault. I don't know about the meth though. That's not like Tupac like drug par. Nah, this is junkie. Fuck that. That's a junkie. That's a junkie. I'm good.
Nigga's 40.
Oh, man. All right, that's it. We got to go. Thank you guys for watching Everyday Struggle. We're going to be back here tomorrow, same time. Send us questions on Twitter at Everyday
Can't get
Struggle.
them little
2Gs.
shades from it. Them shades be looking fly.
Those are probably custom. You can't afford that.
You're right. I can't afford it. But you know, one day.
Someday.
One day.